Hey, I'm Alex Radical from Board Game Co.
And I am Ricky, and today we are reviewing 4 Shuffle Dartmoor.
4 Shuffle Dartmoor is a new standalone version of 4 Shuffle. This is not an expansion, it is a standalone on its own. You can get this, or you can get 4 Shuffle, as well as the various expansions, or if you really like 4 Shuffle, you can get both. We're going to divide this up into a few parts. We're going to tell you how to play 4 Shuffle Dartmoor, then if you skip to the timestamp, we'll just talk about the differences between Dartmoor and 4 Shuffle, and then of course we'll give you our thoughts and opinions. So, how to play 4 Shuffle. Ricky, on your turn you do one of two things. What are those two things?
You can either play cards in your hand or draw cards from either the stack or the clearing.
Yes. So basically, a starting first turn, for example, might be that I just go ahead and play a starting tree. So I take a tree over here from my hand, I play it to my personal display, I pay the cost in the top left corner, and I pay that cost by discarding a card down into the clearing. That's the cost I pay. Now, when you play a tree, just like it shows on this board over here, you're going to take another card from the top of the deck and place it into the clearing. So that would be a standard action. I've paid the cost, I played the card, I put a card into the clearing because this is a tree, and then possibly you resolve any effects. In this case, this is a scoring effect where I'll get a point for every tree and bush in the game. That's a sample turn. Ricky, do you want to take a turn?
Sure. I am going to... Oh, you're expensive. That's fine. I am going to be playing this card.
Okay.
And I am going to discard these two.
So Ricky is once again doing the same thing. She's discarding 2 cards into the clearing because that's the cost of this card. And then she's placing that card out into play. And this card, again, does not have a current effect. It has a whenever you play a card with a bird, draw a card.
But this is one of the new cards. And that are specific to Dartmoor. That sounded weird.
Yep. And
the way Moors work is instead of having one on top, one on bottom, one to the side, one to the other side, you have 2 on top and 2 on bottom. There are cards that give you 0 points for being in Moors. Like, for example, let's see if I can find one. I have 2 in my hand. Like, for example, the Grey Heron that says I can only place this in a Moor.
Yeah, and that will give you 8 points if you do so. So, speaking of which, let's go ahead and show you what that means to play a card to something. So right now, for example, let me see if I have a matching card. I do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play, it's going to show you a few things over here. I'm going to play this card, and I'm going to play it around the tree. Trees, as well as shrubs, allow you to play a card to each side, top and bottom. As Ricky said, Moors have 4 cards, but 2 tops and 2 bottoms. But I'm going to pay the cost, which again is 1 card, and I'm going to pay it with a yellow card. The reason that's relevant is on this card, we have the Binoculars. Binoculars is an ability that says, if you pay with the color of that card, then you get to do the thing. In this case, the thing is I get to play another rodent from my hand onto one of my cards, which I'm realizing now I misplayed because, unfortunately, while I have another rodent, I don't have another tree to place it to. But if I had another tree, for the sake of this example, I'm going to give myself a tree just so we can show you. There we go, perfect. I have a tree. I have a tree over here. So because of that, when I play that card, I can tuck this card underneath over here as a free play. I don't get any abilities on the card, but I do get the card as well as scoring effects. So for example, right now, I have the Woodmouse and the Field Vole, both of which give me a point for each rodent I have, which means I'm already getting 4 points for the combination of them, and if I can keep getting more rodents, that'll be even more. Well, each one's going to be 2 points for each one. So that's another turn over here. Ricky, you want to take another turn?
Of course.
We should take turns until you show you all the basic mechanics.
I'm going to show another mechanic.
Go first. Ricky tucks that underneath the card. You pay the cost of it.
I'm paying the cost with this card that I stole from there because the card I was going to pay it with I gave to you.
And then
and that's that, which means I can use the Binocular ability, which means play any card from my hand, in which case it has to be this one, down, face down as a Moor.
Giving you new Moors to the game. So that's going to be that.
Doesn't have any points.
And then I'll just do... Go ahead.
Yeah, this doesn't have any special points or stuff for itself, but they're for cards that give you points for being placed in a Moor or having Moors. These are great.
Plus, of course, you can tuck cards above and below it. And then I'll do the last thing in the game, and then we'll go into what's different from 4 Shuffle Original to Dartmoor. I'm going to draw cards. I'm going to take 1 card from the clearing and 1 card from the top of the deck, because you can do both. You can draw from the top, you can draw from the clearing, you can draw both from the clearing, or you can draw from the top. There's a few other rules to go through. One example would be whenever the clearing has 10 cards at the end of your turn, you will clear the clearing. There's also going to be 3 winter cards in the bottom third of the deck, and once the 3rd winter card is revealed, that will trigger endgame. But that's the basic idea. You're playing cards, you're trying to draw cards, you're building up an engine, you're trying to get cards that all feed off and score based on each other. You're trying to slowly build an ecosystem of moors, trees, shrubs, ferns, bushes, all the various things, as well as, of course, all the animals that inhabit those various bushes of yours to try to get the best combination score you can from all of those things. That's 4 Shuffle Dartmoor.
Yep.
The difference is between this and 4 Shuffle, for those of you who skipped straight to here from the timestamp, the main difference, first of all, this board has nice little dashes on this, which I don't believe the original game had.
Nope.
It's a nice little cut thing that lets you easily see those 10 cards.
Quality of life feature.
Exactly, quality of life. The main difference is going to be you have moors. You have those moors. Instead of the back of a card being able to be played as a sapling like you can in 4 Shuffle, you play it as a moor whenever an ability allows you to do so. And then cards only go to the top or the bottom, which is going to shift how you try to value, top cards, bottom cards, and side cards. Outside of that, the main differences are going to come down to just the types of combos you have in the game. So, for example, you'll see the typical bat combos, but those also filter a lot more with caves. Caves are a mechanic where you can go, oh, I forgot to show this part.
Yeah,
I
I was
forgot to
gonna
show the
say
caves.
that.
You start with a cave in the game. You start with a few. Go ahead.
Yep, just like in 4 Shuffle, you have a cave. But these caves are different. There are 5 different caves, and each cave has a special ability. For example, Cave 1 lets you put 1 card from the stack as a moor into your forest. So, at the beginning of the game, I would do that.
Yeah. Basically, it just gives you a small little extra ability. They're not a lot. One's 5 points. Some of them let you draw extra cards.
Yeah.
Gives you 1 variable ability at the beginning of the game, and you draw those in reverse player order. So whoever's going last gets first pick from the caves.
Yep.
So you're going to have the caves. That's going to be a difference from the original 4 Shuffle and the fact that you have abilities on those caves. And outside of that, it's going to be all about finding those new combinations. Rodents are a new thing in 4 Shuffle Dartmoor. There's a lot of new ways that things integrate. The birds are a whole different. You have dragonflies instead of butterflies. Lots of small things. And the synchronicity between them, you're basically discovering new combos, which I think is a good time to dive into our thoughts and opinions. Ricky, what do you like about 4 Shuffle Dartmoor?
I really like this one. I like how there's so many different new mechanics that I can play around with. I'm still looking for a really good strategy, but I quite enjoy the moors. They're very fun, and I like the new aesthetic of the game because the 4 Shuffle is very cottagecore, very bright colors, lots of cute animals, and this one it's much duller, more muted colors, much more relaxed, and I like that.
Yep.
And it's also fun to see the various differences between the games. Whenever I play the original 4 Shuffle, every single game my strategy is to get a bunch of European hares and red foxes. But with this game, I still haven't even touched the rabbits, so the rabbits in this game are completely different.
Yeah, we've never tried the rabbit strategy yet.
The rabbit just lets you play a bunch from your hand.
Yeah. The game is basically going to be 4 Shuffle to a large degree. If you like 4 Shuffle, you'll probably like Dartmoor. The question is going to come down to which one you like more, and I'll ask you that at the end. I don't want to know yet. But 4 Shuffle Dartmoor, the main thing I like about this game, as well as the original 4 Shuffle, is the fact that it's all about this combo-tastic goodness. It's all about tons of cards, and you want to play everything, but you have to pay cards into the clearing. Other players are going to take those cards, and you're trying to figure out what is going to give you the most points, because everything's giving you points. You can play that tree that gives you 8 points, or you can play a rabbit that gives you 1 point, but it might combo off of other rabbits later, leading to these massive chains that eventually will be worth far more than the 8 points you gave up to do so. You're constantly trying to find these synergies between what you've built out, whether it's the trees, whether it's the moors. Moors, by the way, have these fun abilities in them that either give you ongoing draws or sometimes scoring. And so you're trying to find the best combination of dozens and dozens, hundreds of cards, and trying to figure out how to build out your ecosystem. And that's the charm of both 4 Shuffle and Dartmoor. And Dartmoor is basically rediscovering 4 Shuffle. If you're familiar with 4 Shuffle, this is just a new opportunity to explore new strategies. It's like playing 4 Shuffle for the first time all over again, just with new cards, a few new rules, but really it's the same basic engine, minor differences. It's mostly about the discovery of the new things and how to combo them off. As far as anything you don't like with the game?
Well, before I say that,
Yes.
there's one thing I really like that I forgot to say, and I like how much more simplistic this is. Because with 4 Shuffle, I love there's so many different strategies you can do, but there's so many different types of cards, it's really hard to keep track of them, and if you find a strategy you like, you don't really kind of end up ignoring most other cards. With this one, there's so much fewer card types, and it's so nice to be able to pick one stick with 2 or 3 strategies and be able to use most of the cards that come out.
Yeah, I did find there's, just similar to what you're saying, I found there's a lot of cross-strategy cards, which is true in 4 Shuffle as well. I think I noticed it a bit more here, where you're trying to gather a card because it helps you with one strategy, but now you're like, well, now that I have that, maybe I should go for rodents too, because I was doing birds, but that bird gives me rodent points, so maybe I'll do rodents and birds. And you have that kind of synergy of trying to pursue something else you weren't even trying to because of what you draw.
For example, last game I decided to go for the bats and ferns strategy, and first of all, it's really nice because there's a bat card that lets you play down ferns. And then I played down a fern, then I played down a fern that had this, and then I played down a bat that let me play down a bug card.
Yep.
And I'd also earlier played a fern that gave me points per bug. So I decided why not and started putting more bugs in. There was this one bug that helped me with bat points. And it was really nice to be able to bounce off of that.
Anything you don't like about Four Shuffle Dartmoor?
I don't like the trees.
I figured that was coming. I knew that was coming. I agree. I think you feel it's stronger than I do, but I agree.
Because the Moors have so many different abilities. Like there's points per this, points per card type, draw a card when you do this, points per card color, this doubles points from this card type, so many different kinds. And the trees, all of them, I feel like are either gives you points for having other trees, or gives you flat out points, or gives you points for being full. Very few of them actually give you points for having card types. Or like one of my favorite cards is 2 points per card on this tree. This one is the one that I actually like a little more because that one gives you points per having this card color and having ferns, which I like. It's not just gives you points for having trees and shrubs or gives you points for having moors.
Yeah, and for me, the only tree I really like in this one is the one that rewards you for moors. Then you play more moors and scoring for moors. That one's a fun one.
Yeah.
But I do agree that the trees, while they're not bad, they definitely feel less interesting than the trees in the original Four Shuffle, which kind of has me I almost always want to pursue a Moor strategy because the Moors are more interesting, but tree strategies are also kind of powerful because of the things that go into the trees, so it's really a delicate balance trying to figure out what the best combo is.
Like last game, I played a bunch of trees because I needed somewhere to put my bats until I found that one that helps me out with bats, which is very nice. But yeah.
For me, the only other thing I don't like about Four Shuffle Dartmoor, and this applies to Four Shuffle as well, and I'm sure Ricky will agree with this, is when the winter cards come out too early. Technically speaking, you're guaranteed to play 2/3 of the deck, but you ideally expect to play like 5/6 of the deck. No, 2/3, because the top 2/3 are free.
Oh.
The winter cards are in the bottom third.
Yeah, exactly.
But you could play the top 2/3 and that's it, or you can get that winter card as the third last card in the deck, which is so much better. So that's not a big deal. It just means that sometimes you play less cards and that's a little bit less fun.
Yeah, like it's our house rule that if it comes out too early, we'll just shuffle it back in because we're playing to have fun and see all the cool cards. We're not playing to be a stickler for the rules. If everyone agrees with it, it's gonna make the game more fun overall. It's gonna benefit everyone. Like yesterday when we played the game, we do
2 winter cards almost right away,
and
followed
then
by
when
3 cards later.
And then when we redrew the cards, it was the winter card again.
Yeah,
which was ridiculous.
Optional house rules are great.
Optional house rules are.
But that is basically it. That is Four Shuffle. Ricky, what is your? Well, I have 2 questions for you. What's your score for Shuffle at Dartmoor, and then which one do you like better?
Okay, so I think Dartmoor is gonna be 4.5.
Yeah.
And I think I'm going to have to say I prefer Dartmoor because I just love the variety while having little variety, if you get what I mean. Like, it feels, the card groups are a lot simpler, which is nice for strategy-wise and not feeling like you're missing out a bunch of cards or having cards that are always useless to you, while still having so many different avenues towards which you can go.
Yeah, I'm going to give a similar answer, although I feel a little bad because I didn't give you this option, but I'm going to take this option. My ranking, and feel free to pivot your answer as well, my ranking is Four Shuffle Dartmoor to me is a 4.5 out of 5. I really like this game. My ranking specifically is, from least to most, is Four Shuffle Dartmoor, Four Shuffle with expansions. Four Shuffle with expansions I like marginally more than Dartmoor because I like, again, you feel free to pivot whatever. I'm very excited for expansions for Dartmoor because I think the base game of Dartmoor comes in with a little bit more things you can do than the base game of Four Shuffle. Both have pros and cons. They are very similar games. Once you add the expansions to Four Shuffle, it adds just that little bit of extra stuff to play with that makes me like that a drop more, but I think it's a hair's breadth more than Dartmoor. I assume if there's any expansions coming for Dartmoor, I assume that will push it right back over the top. But we'll see. We'll see. In any case, that is basically our review of Four Shuffle Dartmoor. Until next time,
I have a few final thoughts.
Go for it. Final thoughts.
So this is something that I commented on one of the times we were playing this.
Yep.
And I said, I love the Moors, and I love you can stick 2 on top and 2 on bottom instead of having one side per slot. But I wish there was a card where it was the same thing as that except for each side.
Oh.
So I was like, we could have like a mountain, for example.
And I was like, we should do Four Shuffle Everest.
It would be amazing and have all the different kinds of conifer trees, like snow things, and instead of having winter is coming, you could say the snow, like having summer. Yeah. Like the melt.
Lookout Games,
so
if you could do Four Shuffle Everest next and go a step away from the forest theme into a bit more of a wintry theme, we'd love that. We'd love that. I can see
instead of winter is coming, like the snow is melting. Yeah. Or something. It'd be so fun.
Four Shuffle Game of Thrones. Winter is coming.
What?
Winter's Coming is a classic line from Game of Thrones.
Okay.
It's all good. In any case, until next time, I'm Alex Radcliffe from Board Game Co.
And I'm Ricky.
And until next time, I hope you have a good one.